Want to upgrade your Squarespace design without coding? Well, you can do exactly that with Spark plugin. With Spark plugin, you can unlock customizations like buttons, text, headers, images, basically any block you can think of. Everything is fully customizable to match your site's design and can be applied with just a single click, no developer needed. So you might be thinking, how do I get started? Well, before you install Spark plugin, make sure that your Squarespace website is at least a version 7.1. You also want to make sure that your Squarespace site is on a core plan or above, because this is the only plans that Spark plugin will be supported in. After you check those two things, you can go to sparkplugin.com and click the Get Started button. From there, you will sign up or log in if you have an account. After logging in, you'll be prompted to copy a small JavaScript code. This is your installation code. You will need a new one for each Squarespace website, so this one is specific to the site that you're applying it to. Once you've copied the code, you can go ahead and paste it in your Squarespace site. You're going to go to Settings, Advanced, and then Code Injection. Paste your code in the header and make sure you click Save. Once the code is saved, a Spark plugin icon will appear in your Squarespace page editor. And that's it for the installation. No coding knowledge needed. Now you're ready to start customizing. And now to the fun part, the designing. I'm going to show you a few ways that you can add Spark plugin customizations to your Squarespace site. So I'm going to start off with showing you a few animation customizations. The first one's going to be hover animation, and I'm going to show you it on this image. So I'm going to click on the icon and then select this image. And then I am going to go to animate on hover. And from here, we have a couple different style options from scale, up, pop, tilt, fade, and flip. And from here, you can even customize the style if you want it unaltered or mirrored. And you can even choose your animation speed from slowest to fastest. Another animation customization is animate on scroll. I'm going to show you how you can do that to this section over here. So we're going to click on the icon, and then let's say we click this text, we can scroll down to animate on scroll. And let's say I wanted this one to slide down. And then from here, you can actually customize what you want the start animation to be, the end animation, rotate, and so many other things that you can do. So this one is obviously slide down. And then the button, we can also add an animate on scroll. Let's say we wanted it to, let's do slide up. And then for the image, let's say parallax. And as you can see, when we scroll through, they animate in, and you can fully customize how much of it you want to show and not show. And of course, there's other styles that you can choose from, but it's very seamless. And now on to some design customizations. The first one I want to show you is how you can customize your header with header styles. So I'm going to scroll down, and as you can see here, there's a few different styles, and you can select shadow and it adds a shadow. You can change the shadow color. You can even change the opacity of the color. You can change the size of the shadow. Let me move this down a bit so you could see it. Another thing you can do is glass morphism, and as you can see, it has this glass-like effect. And then there's border, and you can choose the border color, the border width to whatever you'd like. And it's fully customizable. Again, you can change the color of it. You can even scroll through here, or you can add a custom code. Another design customization that is very useful is carousel styles. So if we click on this carousel, from here, you have options to make it a card. As you can see, it automatically applies inset or glass morphism. So if we were to do cards, you can adjust the text color. You can do this on all the styles. You can even change the background color. You can change the corners if you want them to be square, soft, extra soft. You can make it so the image size is filled or inset. You can also make it if you want your title lines to just show 1, 2, 3, 4, or so on. And then the description lines, if there was some, you could choose if you want multiple lines or not. You can also add a border if you wanted to. If you do add the border, you can change the border color. You can also change the border width. You can add a shadow or not. You can even change the shadow color. You can change the title size right in here, no CSS needed. And if there was a description, you can add a description size. You can also disable a hover effect if see how there's this hover effect over here? You can make it so that there is no hover effect, but very easy, no code needed. Something else you can do is add a scrolling logo to your Squarespace site without using any code. So I have a carousel layout over here that's an auto layout. And what I did is I went to edit content and then content, and I replaced the images that are in this layout with logos. If you want the full tutorial on how to do this, we have a YouTube video on how to add a scrolling logo carousel to your Squarespace website. But basically what you would do is you would add your logos in, and then you would click on the Spark plugin icon, and then you'd click on this block. And as you can see, there's this switch that says scrolling logo carousel. And as you can see already, you have the scrolling logo carousel, but you can also change the background color. You can change the section height if you wanted it to be wider. You can change the image sizes if you wanted to do that. You can even select an image max height so they're placed evenly. You can even change the spacing between the logos or which direction they go to, and you can change the speed. You can make it slowest, slow, medium, or fastest. Another thing that you can do with Spark plugin is you can add a mega menu without using any code. And the way you would do this is you would go to pages, and then you would click on this plus sign, and you'd scroll down to drop down. And I'm just going to type in mega menu. And then what you'll want to do is go on the settings icon and make sure you type in menu, and what your mega menu will show, for instance, I have this, is whatever you put on top of your footer. So the way that you would access this is you'd go to edit, and then you would scroll down and go to edit site footer, and then you would add a section above your footer, and you can add any links, anything that you would like for your mega menu to show. So obviously this is what I put, and then I'm going to click on exit. And then the way you would activate the mega menu is clicking on the Spark plugin icon and then on the header, and you'd scroll down and you'd go to header layouts, and then you'd click on mega menu. And from here you can even choose what kind of indicator you would want, if you want a triangle, arrow, outline, plus, or if you don't want anything at all. But you can also add a shadow if you wanted to. You can add a shadow color. This will show up when your mega menu shows up, and then what kind of shadow depth you'd want, if there's a border or not. And the other thing you could do is you could add multiple mega menus. So if you had multiple, you would choose which one you would want. And the way you would do that actually shows it here. You could click on this info, is instead of just putting menu, you would do menu -2 or 3 or whatever it is. And there you go, you have your mega menu. And as you can see, that is the little shadow that I was talking about that we added in the settings. And now let's go through a few builder features that you can do with Spark plugin. Whether it's deleting some customizations or setting brand colors, you can do it all again with just a click. The first one is publishing your changes. So the way that you would do this is you would click this publish button, and it'd publish all the changes you just made to your Squarespace website, the live version. If you don't do that, it'll just be on kind of like this demo version while you're working on it, but it won't show up on the live version where everybody can see. Now, if you did a couple different customizations and you just don't like anything that was done and you just want to discard it, the way you would do is the same thing, but you would click on this little arrow and you would click on discard, and all the unpublished customizations you added that aren't on your live site will be discarded. It will not discard any of the previous ones that you already published, just the current ones that you worked on. You can choose if you want to edit the block, whether it's all of them or just that single block that you're editing. So for example, for buttons right now, if we click on the button, we can have it on singles. So if I change this button and I make it a border and we scroll down, this button over here still has a gradient. Now, let's say if we wanted all the buttons to be affected, we would click on all, and then we'd click on whatever it was. Let's say we wanted it to be border, and we'd scroll down. All the buttons have this border effect. Another thing that you can do is you can see the site colors. So you would go on this gear button, and from here you can add the site colors. So that's like your branding, and you can always go back and change them. It's very easy. You can even add codes. You can go through this color wheel. You can honestly customize it however you'd like. Now, if you wanted to remove all your customizations or just a few on your Squarespace website, you would go to the gear button, and then you'd scroll down and you'd go to usage. And from here, you can remove, let's say, cookie banner styles removed. You could remove it. You could also just go through it and see what you've used, and you can go back to this anytime you'd like. And that's it. You're officially set up with Spark plugin, and now you have access to over 100 customizations at your fingertips. And the best part is every month, new features and updates are added for you without having to update anything. If you're interested in trying Spark plugin, go to sparkplugin.com and try it today.